Okay, guys, so this is Mr. Grimslin here. We're going to be talking about Buddhism, just very briefly here. So, the key thing with Buddhism, it was kind of the first guy who kind of founded it, kind of got things going with Buddhism. His name's Siddhartha Gautama. Okay, so he is the Buddha. So, what do we need to know about the Buddha? Siddhartha Gautama, basically, he came from a noble family. There was kind of a prophecy that there would be a great ruler or a great spiritual ruler that came out of this family. So they thought he might be a great ruler. So what actually happens is he lives his life in isolation for about 29 years. And instead of being a great political ruler, he decides to be a spiritual ruler. Okay, so he goes out into society and he kind of wanders around. He searches for the truth, searches for understanding. Um, and the story goes, he one day he comes across a old man, he comes across a sick man, he comes across a corpse, and then finally he comes across a holy man. So he interprets kind of that old man, that sick man, that corpse, and that the holy man as humans' everyday struggles. So kind of the suffering, things are going to lead to suffering, and the only way to um, alleviate that is to be a holy man. So he's going to come up with these four noble truths. Okay, so the first noble truth: life is filled with suffering and sorrow. So Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, he kind of walks around, he observes all the suffering and sorrow that's happening in the world. And then he kind of realizes that the cause of all this suffering is selfish desire. So um, he believes that the reason people suffer is because basically they want things, desire to do things for yourself, as opposed at the expense of other people. That's the problem with society. That's the problem with the world, according to the Buddha. So next, the third noble truth is that the way to end all suffering is to end all desire. So it would make sense if desire is the reason everyone is suffering, you would want to end suffering by ending desire. And then the fourth noble truth: the way to overcome that desire, the way to eliminate that desire, is to follow the Eightfold Path, which is basically the middle way. What do I mean when I say middle way? It's the middle way between desire, and it's the middle way between basically between desire and being kind of that holy person that Buddha wants to be. So how was the religion spread? It was spread by missionaries along trade routes. So remember, we have the Silk Road. We're going to talk in the next note section about China building roads. So missionaries are going to spread those beliefs, those four noble truths in the Eightfold Path along trade routes. So now we have the Eightfold Path. So basically, this is the way that the Buddha thinks you achieve nirvana, which is kind of enlightenment or perfect understanding. And I'll just unlock all these right now. Right view basically means you want to have the right perspective on the world, viewing the world through the Eightfold Path, viewing it through the Noble Truths. Right intentions means wanting to do the right thing, basically. Right speech means talking and acting in a way that exemplifies good Buddhist teaching. Basically the same thing for right action right there. And right livelihood, that means just living your life as a good Buddhist person. Right effort means always putting forth a good effort, along with concentration. That kind of means doing your meditating, doing the things you need to do to get prepared to follow the Eightfold Path. And right mindfulness means just kind of thinking about doing the right thing and always being in the right frame of mind for that.